Willie D Live.
You get what I'm saying? I didn't understand what poverty was as a kid. I packed bags for a living when I was a kid at the supermarket to make money. I did paper routes as a kid. You know what I'm saying? I worked in retail. I worked at the toy store. I worked at McDonald's.
Is this was all in the Bronx?
Yes.
Yeah. You mentioned that you were still happy, even though you were...
Let me tell you something. My father died when I was 15, right? When my father died, in his will, he left everything to my sisters and everybody else, right? And there was a note in there for me that says, he left me nothing. You know what it said? You are a man. You got to get it on your own. Do you know how traumatizing that was?
Yeah, that's pretty shitty, man.
But you know what? It worked.
Yeah, but guess what, though? You're right, it worked. But guess what? It could have worked without that. You know what I'm saying? Because that's why you instill... People tell me all the time, well, you wouldn't have went through that. You would, the abuse and this and that, you wouldn't be the person who you are. That's true. I might be a better person.
You're right.
You know what I'm saying? I could have been a better person, if I didn't have to go through all of that fucking trauma and shit. I'm pretty sure that trauma probably cost me at least a few years of my life. Maybe I lived to be 90 years old, but if without that shit, maybe I could have got to 100.
Right.
So I think when people say stuff like that, it gives our attackers and our violators a pass. Because they say, yeah, well, I made him hard. If it wasn't for me doing all the stuff that I did, then he probably wouldn't be as successful as he is. And woo. So that kind of that rubs me the wrong way when I hear stuff like that, because children, deserve love, and they do not deserve to be pushed around by their protectors.
Right.
I want to just go back to that statement that you made earlier about being happy despite, right? Are you happy now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why? Because I could look myself in the mirror and know that I ain't, even though these dudes may have more than me, right? Like, I look at it different now. Like, I just came from Dubai, right? I may not have went to Dubai on a private jet, right? I may not have drove around Dubai in a Lamborghini, but I was in Dubai, right? I may not have stayed in a penthouse suite, but I stayed at a nice hotel, right? So for me, I might not do it the way y'all niggas brag and boast about doing it, but I could go anywhere you go in the world. I went to Monaco, Monte Carlo, went to the Monte Carlo casino. I just seen Floyd there. Nigga draped down in all goddamn Louis Vuitton, big ass logos all over him. I was in the same space you were, right? You walking around with 5 bodyguards and all this attention. And I walked around there by myself. And the women were still trying to talk to me there, right? So for me, I feel like I don't have to do what they do to feel successful. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm still doing it. I'm still going the same places they going to, right? Without sacrificing my integrity.